11,000 teachers lost their jobs. Think about it. All of you here, you had a favorite teacher, didn't you? You had someone that in your years of schooling made a difference in your life. And those teachers just dedicated to their students, from our littlest ones in the pre-K system to those who are graduating and on to the next step. Good teachers, dedicated teachers. But we know that 11,000 of them lost their jobs because of the cuts in 2011. We also know that we had overcrowded classrooms. After the cuts, we know that there were almost at least 8,000 requests for class waiver sizes at the Texas, at TEA. And good teachers make a difference. Crowded classrooms makes it more difficult. We all know, especially our business leaders, that investing in education of Texans is always a really good deal. We have a finance lawsuit where the judge has given us his opinion. But that opinion tells us no more than what parents have been telling us. They want Texas to support their local neighborhood schools, and they want them to support our teachers. It's time to listen. It's time to listen to our parents and business leaders and what the judge said. The judge handed down an opinion that basically said that our school finance system is inequitable, inefficient, and inadequate. That means not enough, not fair, and not working. It should not take another court to tell the legislature to do its constitutional job. We're supposed to be funding our public schools. As a legislator for 23 years, school finance and the battles on that is nothing new. What is new, this particular instance, is the historic nature of who bought the lawsuits. 600 school districts. They are the reflection of what is Texas. Very rural and small school districts. Very urban inner city districts. Very fast growth suburban districts. So what you had here was property poor and property rich, rural, urban, suburban. They all filed suit to force the legislature to do its job, and now the judge has spoken. My opponent, Dan Patrick, record is very clear on this. He voted twice against our kids. He voted twice. First, in 2011, for those $5.4 billion in cuts, and then again last legislative session, when we worked together to try to restore some of those cuts. He was more worried about a political scorecard than he was about the report card from our students that they get every year. I know, because our own Republican colleagues called him out when he tried to suggest otherwise, that he was directly responsible for some of these education cuts. And I won't let that go unchallenged. One of the things my mom taught me, and that good teachers always insist, is that their students tell the truth. And so Dan telling us that he was the one that restored the cuts is just absolutely false. Texas students, parents, and teachers are tired of the legislature not doing its job. And Dan, they're tired of bullying and intimidation and rewriting history. It's time to govern. It's time to be pragmatic, and it's time to do right by our kids. And I will do that as Lieutenant Governor. We just don't need another court to tell us what the right thing to do. It's just to do our jobs. Texans expect a quality education for their neighborhood schools and for their children. No excuses, no delays. As Lieutenant Governor, I would lead that Senate to adequately fund our neighborhood schools, because our teachers sure do not need to continue to pull over $500 a year from their own pockets just so the students have their basic supplies. The judge has told us that he thinks the inadequacy is close to $22,000 per classroom. But we know most of all that we need to restore those cuts to pre-kindergarten, that full day. As Lieutenant Governor, I want to make sure that happens. That we restore the full $200 million to those pre-K classrooms, and that we have some class sizes there. Can you imagine 26 4-year-olds in one room all day? It's a job even our greatest journalists couldn't do. And we know to value our teachers and to make sure that our students can learn, we've got to get high-stakes testing off the backs of our children. Maintain a strong accountability system, but get that high-stakes testing out of the system. We'll be happy to take any questions that you have.